plans and pick up some better habits along the way. It's time to be the change we want to see in healthcare and the change we want to see in ourselves. Let's do it all for health. Highmark, Blue Shield.
At Giant, it's never been easier for you to shop smart. Discover low prices on the items you buy most. Save on thousands of items every week with new Red Bonus Buy savings. And with gas rewards, you save big at the pump. You'll love how your savings stack up. Only at Giant. Earn gas extra reward savings every time you shop and pump up your rewards even more with weekly bonus offers in-ad and in-store. Gas extra rewards go farther at Giant.
Welcome back to Cedar Cliff High School. Sorry for that audio problem we had a little bit earlier. We're getting ready for Cumberland Valley.
Ask for a better duel at the end. Dual meet season going into power rankings being ending at today, and then team playoffs start on Tuesday. But Coach Ramsey has a really nice team, 19-0 on the year, and building a really, really nice program that has a lot of quality wrestlers. He's going to take on Dave Heckard's Cumberland Valley Eagles. Again, PIAA team runner-ups from last year, another great team that he has today.
As someone on a coaching staff, what kind of approach do you take to a match like this, knowing that it's late in the dual meet season, but you have the team championship starting next week, so it's kind of a transition. What do you hope to get out of a match like this today?
I think you got to stick to the plan. Nothing should change in practice. Nothing should change on your preparation going into the match. I think you have to wrestle every match the same way. You can't really change things according to the situation. I think you got to wrestle the way you're supposed to wrestle, and I think both coaches I know are going to have their teams ready to go today.
Okay, we're getting ready for the wrestlers' introductions coming up in just a minute. But prior to us taking the air, there was a special check presentation that we had here on behalf of the Socks and Sweats campaign. Joining in the presentations, John Cedar on the left. He's the athletic director here at Cedar Cliff. That's Eric Graybill in the middle. He's the band director of the West Shore Marching Band. And that's Warren Stumpf on the right from the Capital Region Insurance Agency. The bands throughout the area were collecting socks and sweats throughout the fall, and the West Shore Marching Band came out on top. They collected 362 pairs of socks and 467 sweats for a total of 829 items. So congratulations to the West Shore Marching Band. On behalf of the CRIA, is the culmination and the winner of that special Socks and Sweats campaign. Thanks to everybody who was involved with that. So while we're getting ready here, the president introductions are getting underway here. We'll be back with live wrestling action. Stay tuned, folks. We say you always have the best seat in the house, and it's going to be a good one today. Packed gym here at Cedar Cliff. The Colts and the Eagles of Cumberland Valley coming your way next on High School Sports Live, presented by PHFA.
Buy savings. The week with new and with gas, you save big at the pump. You'll love how your savings stack up. Only at Giant. Earn gas extra reward savings every time you shop and pump up your rewards even more with weekly bonus offers in-ad and in-store. Gas extra rewards go farther at Giant.
Ruff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Serving the total sales, rental parts, and service needs of its customers. Ruff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, featuring the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Ruff also offers 24/7 job site support. Ruff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
The biggest needs for young basketball players are confidence and improved skill level. Advanced Hoops 3D training gets the best results because Gerald Jarman's dribbling and instruction are cutting edge. Archie Smith is passionate and helps young players get quicker and faster. Charlie Fortney is the best shooting instructor around year after year.
Circling low.
Players can compete in competition classes. It's the most affordable and effective training. To register for spring 3D training, go to advancedhoops.com.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Choose any crust, any sauce, any toppings. So go for it, America. Get any toppings, any crust flavor, anything you want on any 2 medium pizzas for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut. It's better at
Brenner. The Brenner family of dealerships gives you better pricing, better customer service, better selection, and Central PA for 84 years.
Welcome back to Cedar Cliff High School, getting ready for live wrestling action. That was the national anthem, and we are getting started. And we often say you folks at home have the best seat in the house. I think I have the best job in the house today, because we are now joined by my normal sidekick, George Hartwick. And, of course, Brandon Bucher is going to stick with us for a little bit. So we have a coach and a former official. I really don't have much to say, guys. I'm just going to set everything up and let you guys take it from there. So, George, welcome. I understand you're doing the fatherly thing today. I saw the daughter play some high school basketball and still able to get over here in time for wrestling.
It made me feel good with a 24-point lead leaving, and I just got the text they won by 22. So glad to be able to join you. Actually, as a fan, as a former wrestler, and as a former official, it's exciting to be a part of a match with significant postseason implications. And, Coach, I know today it means a great deal, particularly for Cumberland Valley, to be able to, if they win here today, they bump to the other side of the bracket away from you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is definitely going to make some changes, win or lose, for both teams here in the power rankings.
Versus McCoy.
So we are live. Wrestling action is now underway. We are starting at 160 pounds today. For Cedar Cliff, it's going to be
Clayton Gauss versus, from Cumberland Valley, Nathaniel McCoy. And for those of you at home, we give you a little delay, particularly today. There may be an opportunity to shift weight classes up and down based upon matchups. Legally, you know, as a coach, you can weighs in or one above. So today we'll see some bumping around depending upon matchups, the ability to earn bonus points and place the team in a close match like this in the best position at the end to win. We always talk a bit about strategy. Now we have a coach along with us. You know, talk a little bit about strategy related to the coin toss and trying to get those best matchups in the dual match.
Yeah, you always want to try to get, you know, your best matchups when you can. And in fact, right off the bat, Coach Heckard takes McCoy up. He weighs in a little lighter here, and he's wrestling 160. So he's giving up some weight here, and that's probably one of the moves already that Coach Heckard had in mind to bump up McCoy here. So definitely want to try to get your matchups, especially in a big match. The coin toss is very, very important.
So he obviously bumps him up, but starts out down 2-0 early here to Clayton Gauss. Trying to take a look at the records here.
Gauss of Cedar Cliff with the early 2-0 lead. Those of you at home, Cumberland Valley in the traditional red singlet. And it's Cedar Cliff in the traditional white.
Gauss now still maintaining control from the top position, working an armbar. Slides out, playing the edge a little bit, about 10 seconds to go remaining in the first period. Got a longtime official with us today, Luke Jacobs. Luke and I started together. I stepped out for the last 2 years and may or may not return, but I think Luke's been in it for about 23 years now.
So into the first period, Clayton Gauss of Cedar Cliff with the 2-0 lead as we head to period number 2.
I remember officiating you back today.
I was just going to say, I remember Mr. Jacobs and yourself officiating me at Northern.
I remember.
Brandon, we always know, according to George, he was the best official around.
Absolutely, especially when you're sitting right with him. He made all the right calls.
Well,
exactly.
Okay. Let me get between you two guys, and then you can really tell us what he was like.
No, Mr. Harvick, you did a great job. Excellent work.
Yeah, we don't always get it right all the time, but it's about understanding the rules and putting yourself in the best position to make the right call, sort of like politics. Nice turn there by McCoy, actually knotting the match up at 2-2. And again, this is one of those toss-up matches between guys who are sort of evenly matched. We got McCoy with a record coming in as a sophomore at 8-6, and we've got Gauze coming in as a senior at 13-8. These are the kind of matches that you circle in the beginning and say it could go either way.
Absolutely, and again, Coach Eckert with McCoy, 10th grader, trying to look at his lineups. He has to, Trent Cook's out of the lineup today, up at 182. So he has to make some changes, and this is probably one of those first ones he had to make right off the bat, starting at 160.
So McCoy again now maintaining the offensive position. One of these critical matchups. Again, in a dual meet, you may not have your best guys out there being the most important matchups. It's these kind of matchups that make the difference in the outcome of a big match like this. McCoy still maintaining control. He's got to work up here, trying to switch to a Navy. Locked hands, called by referee Luke Jacobs. Could prove to be big there, technical violation against McCoy, giving Gauze a 3-2 lead. Yeah, McCoy doing a good job of maintaining control here. Gauze now working to his feet. He's got to gain wrist control. Does, little space, knots it up at 3-3. Really important right now, trying to get a takedown here. Nice drag. There it is. He's got it.
Nice
good
takedown.
Call.
Nice takedown on the edge of the mat.
Good call by referee Luke Jacobs as well. Kept his toes in. That's big for McCoy there because Gauze gets choice in the third period here.
Absolutely. He needs to make sure he rides him out here, doesn't give up any points at the end of the period.
Just a sort of a spiral in here, hanging on. Depending upon how long you want to let that go as an official, I'd ask him to work around, but
absolutely
does just enough to hang on to a 4-4 tie here coming into the third period. Gauze is suggested, took the defensive position. McCoy selecting to go on his feet, giving Gauze one, now trying to earn points from our feet. Nice headlock. He's got to spin through. He doesn't have it here. He's got to hang on, and now he's not in a good position. No, does not earn anything. Way to hold the points by the official. We're back on our feet.
You can already tell by the base of this first match the way this dual meet's going to go. It's just going to be back and forth.
I'm leaning on you here. I'm already starting to lean on you. Oh, nice slide through by McCoy there. Opens up a 6-5 advantage.
Bring it back to the middle with 1:21 to go.
You can feel the excitement in the crowd. This is a big match. Those at home get the best seat in the house. We're certainly going to try to bring it to you accurately and live here today, and I'm glad to be a part of a stellar broadcast crew.
Injury time by Gauze.
The whirly-bird went out. He actually, I don't know what's going on here.
Pre-match meal's not sitting too well.
Here's another replay on that.
Didn't get the chance to see much there. There was a takedown that was earned prior to that, allowing McCoy to jump out to a 6-5 lead. And again, needed to go on his feet immediately instead of wasting time down on the mat. Immediately gave up one. Felt strong that he's much better in a much better position to earn a takedown than he would be to try to earn a turn at this point.
As a coach too, you sometimes leave that up to your wrestler. Where do you feel more comfortable? Do you want to ride on top and try to get for a turn, or do you want to let him up and try to take him down? So in that case, it looked like McCoy right away. As soon as he was on top, he looked over at Coach Eckert.
We're coming back to the replay here now. Here's the takedown again, an attempt, a sloppy attempt, and actually just driving through, taking Gauze is McCoy almost to his back there. That's the move that extends the lead here, or takes the lead back 6-5. And with those of you at home knowing injury time, your first injury time, you got a total cumulative amount of 1:30. First injury time, there's no consequences. Second time you take an injury timeout, the other wrestler gets choice of his position on the mat. Third injury timeout, you are disqualified.
So here we go, 6-5, McCoy leading Gauze. First match, 160 pounds, as we approach the 1 minute mark.
Gauze, good job by ripping the hands here. Now it's McCoy just hanging on to that back ankle in a spiral.
He needs to be careful he doesn't get hit for stalling here.
He does. Gauze to his feet. And see, instead of giving up, that was almost continuation there, but referee Luke Jacobs giving 1 and 2.
He needs to work up, or he needs to work up, or it's a stall, and there's the stall call.
So things have made a quick reversal here. It's now Gauze on top by a score of 8-6 with 42 seconds left.
Coach Heckard going to the table asking for clarification here. Both wrestlers must go back to the center of the mat. Unlike other sports, you can't question the official. You can ask for a clarification of the application of the rules.
And I think that's what Coach Heckard's definitely asking the referees. What you mentioned, that might have been a continuation, whereas one escape, then a takedown might have just been a reversal.
I don't, we often talk about how you make the calls from the side, but you got to allow it to continue there. That could prove to be big. Yes, it looked like to me it was 2 rather than 1 and 2. And I think that's the contention of Coach Heckard. Now Gauze in a position, he's got to return his wrestler back to the mat. And again, with 1 stalling call, he's got to be careful. He needs to continue the movement here. 26.8 seconds to go. Folks, you don't want to turn your head away from the screen now.
That stall.
Oh. Well, it clearly wasn't that. Pre-match is not good. Folks, I turn away. We might want to go to a break.
Yeah, we have a commercial break coming up here. We're going to have some cleanup here on the mat. So we are in an injury timeout here. We will be back with more here at Cedar Cliff. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends, but tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
Hey guys, just in time.
When Julie wanted to provide some stability for her 2 boys, she reached out to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for her home loan. We're proud we could help Julie and her family. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help homeownership dreams come true.
Under a new state law, all electronics must be recycled.
Welcome to the Dauphin County Recycling Center, where recycling is quick, easy, and free.
You may recycle appliances or even cell phones.
We're open 6 days a week, and recycling is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Contact our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or visit our website for more information.
Help us protect our planet, because tomorrow does matter.
Okay, gentlemen, you're the experts. Explain what just went on during that commercial timeout.
You have a total cumulative amount of 1:30 in injury timeout. Here's the concern. Normally, when something happens, whether it be blood or as you just saw on the mat, I don't want to describe it, but the wrestler, had he vomited, and the responsibility of the official is to ensure that there is no continued injury. You talk to the the athletic trainer, and you ask, is the wrestler ready to continue? If in fact he is, you bring him back to the center of the mat, you'd stop the time, and then it would be cleaned up. In this case, a determination was made that the wrestler was not able to continue, and a minute and 30 went by. So in that case, once that minute and 30 goes by, you actually end up forfeiting that match. So instead of allowing them to continue, that's a huge swing there of 9 points.
Absolutely, that's a 9-point swing. We'll see what Cumberland Valley decides to do here at 170.
This has been a season of firsts for us, George, doing some of these matches. And again, this is the first time this has actually happened during one of the matches that we televised.
Well, it's happened to me as an official.
Forfeit has a 6-0 team lead, so we move to 170. Donovan Ball of Cedar Cliff against Quentin Millikins of Cumberland Valley.
Well, that was huge. And I couldn't think of a more controversial way to be able to start a match. That will be discussed and debated.
Cumberland Valley certainly no stranger to controversy this year. Their loss to Boyertown was certainly controversial. So
yeah, defensive pin, which again, according to the rules, your scapula must be on the mat for 2 seconds in order to award a fall. There was some contention. We weren't there. Referee determined that, in fact, it was a fall, and I think there was 1 or 2 other calls that were questionable that had caused Cumberland Valley to feel that they were not in a position to lose, but nonetheless had been the recipient of a loss to a tough Boyertown team.
Quentin Millikins out to a quick 5-0 lead after just 1 minute here at 170.
Milliken, a real tough kid, sophomore, 23-8. I think he certainly has a bright future. We saw it there as a freshman last year. Yep, and he's got to be careful. In that case, you can't allow the coach to come on the mat either. I mean, again, that could be unsportsmanlike conduct. You can't come on the mat. Referee Luke Jacobs has got to make sure that with this kind of crowd, you maintain a semblance of order. What happened is Milliken had 2 or 3 times came back and whacked the back of the head of the opposing wrestler. In that case, that's unnecessary roughness. 1 point given to the Cedar Cliff wrestler. In this case is Donovan Ball, a freshman with a record of 12-9.
Milliken was last year he qualified for the state tournament, so he's definitely been around and quality wrestler.
Tough kid. Just make sure he doesn't do anything that's going to hurt his team, because he should be earning bonus points here.
Has to be watches him back again.
We don't want Boyertown too.
He was in position there for a possible defensive pin.
And you know this, you wrestled in college. The rule is, there's touch falls in college. In high school wrestling, you got to be there for 2 seconds.
Absolutely, totally different rules in a lot of ways, a lot of aspects of the sport.
Milliken out to a 10-1 lead. In this case, referee Luke Jacobs. Chalice selecting the defensive position to start the second period. The 6-2 lead. Great pickup. Wentz now trying to do the snow plow. Speaking of snow,
he can take it out in the parking lot.
Yeah, we've had enough of snow. We got enough for the whole year.
Wentz really just hanging on here, not doing much work to the side, letting Chalice out now, 7-2.
That was a thing we talked about last year a lot, as far as the makeup and the physique of wrestlers. We really haven't touched upon it too much this year. But you said you always hated to go up against a tall, lanky guy, right?
I like guys who looked stacked, strong, and big muscles. I hated the tall, lanky guys. Regardless of the day, it's always a full day's work. What do you think, Coach?
I was a little bit of the opposite. I was tall and thin on my frame, and those short and stocky guys, it just seemed to give me fits. But that is definitely a factor with sometimes your builds and leverage.
Yep.
Tall and lanky, looking for cradles and things like that, legs as well. But, yeah, it hasn't been a factor too much, in the first 2 matches here.
Both in college and high school. I didn't care what the guy's record was. I'd always look at the physique. That would determine the outcome.
You said not giving up those points. Donovan Ball saved that 1 point in the previous match. Let's see if Mr. Wentz can do the same thing here.
And again, based upon the matchup, we got a wrestler here 22-6 versus somebody 13-6. I mean, you'd expect him to at least be in this with a shot to win. Chalice again around easy. What do you say, John? How many times have we talked about you cannot win with your head on the mat?
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, he definitely, Wentz needs to try to work for an escape here to eliminate the major decision.
And now really is just bailed out and flattened out, no attempts to try to get to his feet. Needs to gather himself here, free his arm and attempt to create some space, wrist control. Looks like he's a bit gassed. Rocking back, heels. We'll see 42.7 seconds. We'll see if he's going to try to work out here. Will really be indicative of whether or not he's going to give it a shot towards the end. Caution there on Chalice. Again, not much. You know, we always tell, and I know you do this, Coach, getting out from the bottom is a matter of will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get your head off the mat. No one should be able to hold you down.
It's a mental attitude. It's definitely a mental attitude. We tell it all the time in the room. If you want to get out on bottom, you'll find a way to get out on bottom.
Yep. And you can't do it with your head on the mat. You can't do it without, untying your wrists. You got to put 1, 2, 3 things together. And again, Coach urging him to come up here.
10 seconds left in the match.
Chalice with legs in is content to ride this thing out.
It's like Wade Chalice of Cumberland Valley is going to come away with a major decision at 182. 11-3 victory over Emerson Wentz of Cedar Cliff. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Brenner is back on Paxton Street with Brenner Pre-Owned. Choose from over 300 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and minivans. We've got your next vehicle that's priced to fit your budget. At Brenner Pre-Owned, we have financing for every credit situation, plus 100% guaranteed credit. We'll get you driving today. Get to Brenner Pre-Owned, back on Paxton Street or anytime at BrennerPreowned.com. 24/7 at BrennerPreowned.com.
Cumberland Valley on top 15-0 as we move to 195. And for Cedar Cliff, it's going to be Josh Colello taking on Austin Kupko of Cumberland Valley.
This is a match that Cedar Cliff definitely needs. I would say at this point in the match, they're going to need a fall.
A pin,
they're going to need a fall.
Yeah, anything less than 6 here right now is a significant loss for Cedar Cliff. Colello, really tough kid, a lot of national level experience. I know is really working and gearing himself up towards a postseason run. And anything less than a high finish would be a disappointment for Mr. Colello after a pretty stellar career.
Yeah, Josh with 130 career victories coming into this one.
Running a bar here, trying to work a hammerlock from both sides. Now puts the half in. Let me tell you, it will be over from here if the official doesn't call potentially dangerous. He's got it locked up. For those of you who haven't been in that position, you don't want to be. Good job by Kupko trying to fight off his back. Colello now readjusting, putting chest to chest, trying to rip on the head and the arm, trying to get those shoulders down. 38 seconds, there it is.
Josh Colello of Cedar Cliff, the winner by fall at 195. Watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Stay low, drop. Players and parents have more confidence in Advanced Hoops and Team PA AAU basketball. It's the only program that invests in a full-time staff to ensure that players get quality coaching, skill development, practice time, and quality tournaments. Over 170 players placed in college. Wow!
Advanced Hoops is on another level. Since my son has started, he's improved in shooting, dribbling, and understanding the concepts of the game.
To check out Advanced Hoops and Team PA, go to advancedhoops.com.
Cedar Cliff gets a much-needed victory for its first points of the afternoon. 15-6 now the score as we move to the 220-pound match. For Cedar Cliff, it's going to be Cole Whalen taking on Dane Ross of Cumberland Valley.
For those of you not familiar with wrestling, a face guard on there by Ross. What happens there oftentimes, I had a broken nose in my sophomore year, and a way for you to continue to wrestle is to have a hard face mask. And boy, that sucks from a breathing perspective and the ability for you to continue to wrestle. But obviously, it gives you an opportunity to do it even if you have a broken nose or something else that's structurally wrong with your face.
Yes, they, being able to see with those masks on could be terrible. I mean, their peripheral vision is sometimes blinded.
Cole Whalen, I believe, is the son of Bob Whalen, a former standout here at Cedar Cliff High School.
Well, if you walk out in the hallway here, you'll see Mr. Whalen's picture up on the wall.
Absolutely.
Two seniors here wrestling at 220.
Cole Whalen coming in with a 14-5 record. We've got Dane Ross now undefeated, 7-0. Must have gotten a late start this year, injured early in the season.
Dealing with some injuries and some other things that has kept his record only having 7 matches on the year.
Sometimes that's good when you're fresh coming down the stretch late in the season after a hard grind.
Hey, if you're fresh come March, that's unusual. So, that's obviously the goal, but that's hard to do sometimes, to be healthy and fresh in March.
Caution on Dane Ross, first one of the match.
Stay tuned. At the conclusion of this one, we'll be having our giant post-match show. During that time, we'll be announcing our Brenner family of dealerships wrestler of the match and our Capital Region Insurance Agency move of the match. Those two announcements coming up a little bit later this afternoon when Cedar Cliff and Cumberland Valley settle the score here on the mat.
Period
Ross,
1 ending here, 15 seconds left.
And Ross doing a good job of maintaining control. He shut the side door opportunity that Whalen is attempting to try to slide out the side door, and ends the period with a 4-1 lead, does Dane Ross.
Seems like Cumberland Valley's had the better of it in all the matches so far, at least getting off to quick starts in the opening periods.
Yep.
And Mr. Ross is continuing that right now. And with the exception of last match with Mr. Colello, who dominated that right from the outset.
Just a weird start, and really Cumberland Valley's taking advantage of the opportunity.
Dane selected to take neutral. Whalen chose bottom in the second, and Dane let him up, chose neutral. So that gives Whalen a point. I know watching Dane Ross, he's very good on his feet, very good low shots, very good sweep singles, and that's probably why he obviously took him neutral.
Look at that control in the head, continuing to move the guy to the position he wants him to be in, keeping him off balance, continue to slide around. I remember a wrestler now's a coach for Mannheim Central, Troy Sunderland, who used to continue to work that front headlock. I remember watching him bounce several guys on his forehead the whole way around as he's continuing to spin and tally up points.
Tell you what, you can score a lot of points with a short offense.
Yep.
If you have good short offense, good defense, that definitely can get you some points in the neutral position.
Approaching the halfway point of this match at 2:20. Dane Ross of Cumberland Valley on top 6-2. Eagles lead on the big board 15-6.
And again, has to do something here from the top position. Just can't ride parallel and hang on that leg. You got to either work to the side, work for a turn, but cannot continue just to hang there. Whalen doing a good job of trying to get his leg free. Again, when you got that inside leg and a Jacobs, not a great pinning position, but certainly one to earn points. Now Ross is actually coming over further on the top and may be able to do it right here. We're getting close with 15 seconds to go. Whalen rolling through the other side, not giving it up.
Great fight there on bottom from Whalen to not give up the 6-point fall there.
He pushed and pushed and pushed away until he got enough space to go the other way.
Here we are again at the end of the second period, 9-2. Both wrestlers, Dane Ross looking for a major, and Cole's going to have to get something going.
Crowd not happy. And again, I don't know what the official is calling. I don't know if we are on something addressing equipment or injury timeout. So we'll find out here shortly.
There is a cut above his eye that was here before the match that might have reopened. Probably why he has the head taped and the mask on to protect that injury. But yeah, I'm not sure if there was injury time or blood time there. I think it might have been injury time.
Don't know for sure. No clear indication by the official what time we were on there. Choice to Dane Ross, selecting the defensive position to start the third period.
Nice high turn.
Trying to work Peterson. Not doing a good enough job trapping the elbow, but tucks underneath for two.
Went to a high turn, looked for Peterson. Peterson wasn't there. Popped his head out, got the reversal.
Yeah, as a coach, you teach 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves. You got to put stuff together from the bottom. It's a matter of will again.
Yep, on bottom positions, movement, mindset.
I'll tell you, Whalen with a burst of energy.
He's fighting back.
Yep.
Looks like endurance on both sides have been the factor here on some of these matches.
Yeah, Ross now burying his own head to the mat. Whalen doing a good job putting the arm in the middle of the back. He's got to be careful not to take it away from the body or jam it up forward, but being able to use this and actually put him on his hip and then across the mat.
Either Dane's going to have to get his head off the mat and work for improvement, or he's going to get hit for stalling.
Right now, I would have probably hit him now. He's not doing anything.
Under a minute to go.
Whalen doing a good job of trying to work the head, trying to work halves, trying to stay to the side. Dane not doing anything.
Head down.
You can't talk to the wrestler. There you go.
Here's his stall warning.
And again, it's not going to mean much because by the time 30 seconds are here to go, you're not going to be able to stall him out.
30 seconds left.
And again, you got to call that again. Bottom wrestler doing absolutely nothing.
11-5 over Cole Whalen of Cedar. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Look, Ryan. Shh. Look over there. I see it. I see it. Is that what I think it is? That's a beauty. Wait. Look. There's an even bigger one. Oh, wow. Shh. Oh, man. Don't worry, buddy. I know where there's a whole herd of them.
Stop by Hoffman Ford. You'll be sure to save a lot of bucks.
Cumberland Valley stretches its lead to 18-6, and we move on now to our 285-pound match. For Cedar Cliff, it's Sergio Acala against Jake Black of Cumberland Valley. Already it's Acala out to a 2-1 lead.
Illegal. Looked like it was a full Nelson.
I think Acala knew that as soon as it was called. He looked rather upset at himself.
Yeah, you can go to half Nelson anytime you put a full Nelson and apply it towards the back of the head. That is illegal. Cal doing
nice
a good
mat
job.
Return.
Yep.
Got to be careful he doesn't get too high here. He's working legs. Got to watch for a defensive fall here.
Stays in control. There you go.
There's a reversal.
Jake Black now earning near fall points.
One minute left in the first period. Score is 6-2 in favor of Jake Black. from Cumberland Valley.
George, the matches we've seen so far this year, we haven't seen this much action out of the heavyweights. This is rather unusual.
John, we're usually willing to put the theme music on.
For the dancing, for the waltz.
Dancing bears and the waltz. Here you go. This is it. Black has it tight. There we go. Another 6 points for
Jake
Cumberland
Black.
Valley.
Cumberland Valley winner by fall at 285. Watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Today, we have some breaking news on the West Shore. Some spraining, twisting, popping news. It appears that Mechanicsburg is getting a state-of-the-art OSS orthopedic urgent care. This is what we know so far. OSS urgent care is much faster than the emergency room. All patients will be seen by orthopedic experts. Costs are typically less. And OSS is open 7 days a week. Remember, if you have a sprain, pop, or break to report, go right to the experts. OSS Orthopedic Urgent Care. 2 great locations, York and now Mechanicsburg. Now that's some good news.
Shot of the Cedar Cliff bench, and that is the singlet of Medard Kowalski. Medard was a team member here at Cedar Cliff who passed away last year. And I'd like to point out that there's a special project going on his in his memory. It's called the Medard House Project. And for more information, you can go online at medardshouse.org, or you can even find a special video presentation of that on YouTube. So Medard certainly still alive in the hearts and spirit of the family here at Cedar Cliff. So if you get a chance, please take a look at that video and get up to date on the Medard House Project. That would be greatly appreciated. Now we flip the scales around. We move to 106. J.J. Wilson of Cedar Cliff taking on Cade Reichert of Cumberland Valley.
And talking to the coaches in the short time that I was here, this is one they had circled related to a solid matchup of 2 kids who are going to prove to be contenders in the district individual side. We've got J.J. Wilson again versus Cade Reinhardt. J.J. Wilson coming in with a 28-6 record. Cade Reichert with a 17-7 record, both freshmen.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the matches that we had circled. Glad to see both these 2 wrestlers. J.J. Wilson has gone up to 113 to wrestle, so I'm glad that we were able to get this matchup.
Wilson now in a dump situation, able to pop his head during the first 2 of the match. Got to watch that leg, let it go. Wilson throwing in legs, really those double boots over the top disable that bottom wrestler from being able to move. And I always tell the wrestlers, if you throw them, you got to use them, because there's nothing the bottom guy can do in that sort of position.
And that is exactly the call that should be made with legs. Sometimes wrestlers use it to ride, and they're parallel. It needs to be either stalemated, and if it's stalemated and you're warned about it, the next time would be stalling.
That's how I call it, or used to call it. Now I'm over here to be able to critique.
Yeah.
Never missed a call in your career, did you?
I missed quite a few, but always attempted to try to get it right.
Wilson with the power half, looking for near fall points.
Now, that's the appropriate type of application from double boots. If you can work that power half, bump the guy to his side, and start to earn points, that's what you're supposed to do. If you can't do it, as you said, stalemate it out quick, and it's the guy's responsibility to either move it or he gets called for stalling.
Coming to the end of period number 1 here at 106 pounds. J.J. Wilson bucking the trend that had been going on in the matches so far today of Cumberland Valley getting out to an early advantage in the opening period. Wilson takes a 2-0 lead over Reichert into period number 2.
So in this situation, Wilson defers, and Cade Reichert looks over at Coach Heckard, and Coach Heckard said, you want to take neutral or top? And as we know, in that first period, Wilson must be pretty darn good on top.
He kept him pinned to the mat pretty well. And again, as a coach, I know you get frustrated. We talked about the legs position. Back for the leg. Trying to switch. Scoops one leg but doesn't quite get around. Now trying to bury his head and get underneath.
Wilson has to be careful for a cradle, but looks like he's going to be okay.
Pops his head.
Looking for a cradle of his own here now, the low leg cradle. Turk's in. This could be trouble for
Cliff. Probably has to win.
I think the next 3 weight classes, looking at lineups, the next 3 weight classes are all 3 evenly matched.
No points awarded. Try to sneak in a quick Oklahoma there, not establish control.
Yeah, the next 3 weight classes, we're going to see some good wrestling. I definitely have to.
There you go.
We have 7 matches in the book. We're halfway through. 14-point disadvantage for Cedar Cliff. Is that doable? Can they come back from something like that?
Yeah, they can. Again, you got some big guns. You got to win the next 3. You got to win the next 3 for Cedar Cliff, because then you run into a Wyatt Long, then you run into a Bill Caldees, then you run into Cal Reichert.
Here's a replay to show you how we got to this 2-0 advantage there. Cassidy
takes it low,
gets the take out. So let's take a quick break. Watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
At Giant, it's never been easier for you to shop smart. Discover low prices on the items you buy most. Save on thousands of items every week with new Red Bonus Buy savings. And with gas rewards, you save big at the pump. You'll love how your savings stack up. Only at Giant. Earn gas extra reward savings every time you shop, and pump up your rewards even more with weekly bonus offers in-ad and in-store. Gas extra rewards go farther at Giant.
So the injury timeout is over, and we are now back to live wrestling action as we are in the final minute of the first period at 113 pounds. Michael Cassidy of Cedar Cliff, 2-0 advantage over Troy Nation of Cumberland Valley.
Oh, another very strange position there.
And that's got to hurt. You can see the expression on his face.
Yeah.
Ooh, rolling that ankle.
2 awkward ways to come down on those legs. Having a difficult time walking gingerly back to the center.
Yeah, it looks like Troy Nation's almost putting him into that situation when he gets returned to the mat, where his legs go out and he's stretching those hamstrings out. Looks like he's putting himself in that position.
Well, those days of flexibility are over for me. I think I'd be in the emergency room with a move like that.
Yeah, I tell Swap.
Its way back into this one. Trailing on the big board by a score of 24-10.
Cassidy trying to keep inside position. Troy Nation wrestling from his knees here.
Heavy hands. Cassidy has real good heavy hands. Weight on Nation's head. That can be very difficult to wrestle in the neutral position with an opponent with heavy hands.
And we talk so much over here about hand control always. The wrist control, the ability to control where your hands and your head are at. When you do that, you control the rest of the action. From no matter what position you're in, you're controlling heads in the hand, you can control the match. Both guys squared up. When you're ear to ear, you will not score. Again, limping almost back to the center. Looks almost strange coming back in. Still hurting. Sort of a
nice shot here.
Longer outside shot here. Trying to finish at the edge. 1-2. In a must-win situation here. Every point matters for Cedar Cliff right now.
And points are something Cumberland Valley does not give up. They've wrestled 2 matches this week, 69-0 over Carlisle, 80-0 over Harrisburg. So the 10 points, that's something when you're scoring that against the Eagles. 4-2, just under a minute to go.
Got to have a move off the whistle here. You know, that's important too. We talk about that in the room. Having a go-to move off the whistle.
He does.
And it's
but again, tries to switch here. Needs to put 1 and 2 things together. He's not in a position to be able to turn it. He needs to flatten out again, clear wrist, get some space, get back up on his feet, try something else. Doesn't want to stay on his side there. Wrist being put to his back.
Nation has a Turk in, looking to elevate the bottom leg, get some near fall points. Cassidy needs to get crawl forward, get those legs untwisted.
And Nation content to stay there. He's got to use it. Referee Luke Jacobs appropriately calling a stalling warning. No attempt to try to turn. 24 seconds remaining. Nation with a 4-2 lead over Cassidy from Cedar Cliff. Caution. You got to plant your ankle and free it up.
Ooh. A little acrobatic move.
Sounded like a little bit of a thud too. Cassidy now trying to, not going to be able to do it. Faces back down. Got to put it together, 1 and 2. I don't think it's going to happen.
Troy Nation of Cumberland Valley is going to be your winner at 113 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Ruff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Serving the total sales, rental parts, and service needs of its customers. Ruff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, featuring the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Ruff also offers 24/7 job site support. Ruff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Back at Cedar Cliff, we move now to 120 pounds. Cumberland Valley with a 27-10 lead. We go to 120.
Yeah, it's Louis Tirado versus Jake Barrick. Again, a must-win for Cedar Cliff here. It may be a little too late, but an opportunity for them again here to at least try to earn some points. Tirado coming in with a 14-6 record as a junior. Barrick 9-3 as a junior.
Well, you have to say it's now or never for Cedar Cliff.
Yeah.
All a part of wrestling.
Jake Barrick is so long for 120 pounds. I mean, he's probably close to 6 foot tall at 120 pounds.
Good job by Tirado. Again, leverage from Barrick. Very difficult to get close to moving. Nice. I don't know what was called here. We got in blood time right now for Jake Barrick from Cumberland Valley.
No, while we have blood time, let's take a quick timeout. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
The biggest needs for young basketball players are confidence and improved skill level. Advanced Hoops 3D training gets the best results because Gerald Jarman's dribbling and instruction are cutting edge. Archie Smith is passionate and helps young players get quicker and faster. Charlie Fortney is the best shooting instructor around year after year.
Circling low.
Players can compete in competition classes. It's the most affordable and effective training. To register for spring 3D training, go to advancedhoops.com.
Right now at Pizza Hut, you can get any 2 medium pizzas for $6.99 each. Choose any crust, any sauce, any toppings. So go for it, America. Get any topping. Need 2 medium pizzas for just $6.99 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
Back at Cedar Cliff, we're getting the mat cleaned up, getting the wrestlers back in shape to resume action at 120 pounds, 45 seconds left in the opening period. Still scoreless between Louis Tirado of Cedar Cliff and Jake Barrick of Cumberland Valley.
Some good action here early. No score yet, but both guys working real hard to try to earn the first takedown. Tirado in a couple nice singles. Barrick doing a good job of countering, using his leverage well. And again, with that length, stuff like that isn't going to happen for a short guy like me, folks.
No, good foot sweep. Good foot sweep action. Yeah, he definitely used his length there to his advantage. But nice.
That's got to be Dad over there. He's too hyped for him not to be.
Yep, front row.
Looking at him right in his eyes in the starting position. Good job by Barrick. Lifting and bringing back down to the mat safely. He's got to be careful here, only working a tight waist, but with short time, able to ride it out for a 3-1 lead starting the third period. Tirado with choice in the third.
mentally, what's Cedar Cliff going through right now? They're 19-0. They have won all of their matches by an average score. I think it's like 55-15. Now all of a sudden, with the number of matches dwindling down, you're down by 17. They haven't been in this position yet this year.
I think, from being a coach, you have to tell these guys we're wrestling a very, very tough opponent, and there's always opportunities to upset some wrestlers, and you might not be the one supposed to win experience-wise, but there's definitely opportunity still. We have 5 matches left, and I think there's definitely opportunity for both wrestlers to still win here.
When you take a look at this, too, there's also a difference in some of the quality of the teams that Cumberland Valley faced versus the quality of teams Cedar Cliff faced. And we always say it's not necessarily about your record. It's your ability to compete against the highest quality level of team, and that's why you want to go up against the best competition. Your record's only reflective of the opponents that you go against. If you lose 1 or 2 in those level of quality opponents, you may be better suited coming down the stretch in the team championship position because you've already faced the best.
Right, you face some adversity too.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's just strength of schedule. Cumberland Valley has 2 losses. They lost to Boyertown, top 5 ranked in the state.
And who else?
And Central Dauphin. We finally were able to get one on them after 2 years.
I know John and I did the match at Central Dauphin for the first loss in Central Dauphin's gym. And, as an official, I've done that one for years. I remember Swags told me I'll never get a vote from Central Dauphin after the one district tournament. I had to unsportsmanlike conduct him for it. But that rivalry has existed now for probably a good 15-plus years related to the high.
It's always fun wrestling Dave Heckert and the Cumberland Valley Eagles. I know Swags gets so excited for it every year. And and that's not only in wrestling. Cumberland Valley and Central Dauphin, that rivalry in all sports. And you look at the football district finals this year.
Hey, look at girls basketball.
And girls basketball, exactly.
I got my daughter plays for CD, so upsetting Cumberland Valley twice this year, it was huge. It looks like injury timeout. Difficult way Torado landed there.
So while we have a timeout on the mat, let's take a quick break. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by HFA.
The Brenner family of dealerships gives you better pricing, better customer service, better selection, and a better service department for the life of your vehicle. We'll show you how at Brenner Chrysler Jeep, Brenner Nissan, and Brenner Pre-Owned. The Brenner family of dealerships on the Carlisle Pike, Mechanicsburg, and on Paxton Street, Harrisburg. 24/7 at BrennerFamily.com. Serving Central PA for over 94 years.
Back at Cedar Cliff High School, Cumberland Valley on top of Central Dauphin, or Cedar Cliff by a score of 27-10. John Reppitz along with George Hartwick and Central Dauphin assistant coach Brandon Bucher calling the action for you today. Louis Tirado had his problem taken care of, so we're going to get back to work here. Tirado trails Jake Barrick of Cumberland Valley 3-1. We have 53 seconds left in the third period of this one. We've been talking about the playoff pairings that will be coming up. Today's the final day to get your records in to qualify for the team championships in District 3 that start next Tuesday. A win by Cumberland Valley could earn them one of the top 4 spots, and of course the top 4 teams will host opening rounds, first and second round, which are both slated for next Tuesday night in Class AAA. Tirado gets away with 20 seconds left. He trails by a point.
First time we've heard Cedar Cliff's fans really start to engage. Tirado now working hard, attacking. 11 seconds remaining.
Was Barrick hit for stalling earlier?
I don't know.
Can't recall if he was or not. I feel like someone was. I wasn't sure if it was Tirado or not, but
he was fleeing the mat. Was the
point. Fleeing the mat. Okay.
10 seconds left. Tirado needs to make a move.
He's trying, and Barrick does a good job of countering now. Right here at the edge, will run the clock out.
So Jake Barrick, a 3-2 winner for Cumberland Valley, 120 pounds. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Karen has 459 friends, but none of them made sure she got home okay. None of them suggested she skip the next drink, try a glass of water, or maybe just call it a night. Karen has 459 friends. But tonight, what she really needed was one good one.
Back at Cedar Cliff, Cumberland Valley leading Cedar Cliff 30-10. As we move on now to 126 pounds, it's Josh McLaughlin of Cedar Cliff taking on Connor Smith of Cumberland Valley.
Connor's not usually the one who is starting. I guess they're not, unless they bump Parker Hiller up to 132. But you know, Parker's usually the one that wrestles 126 for Cumberland Valley. But it's a good opportunity to get Connor a match, and you know, 10th grader. And Josh McLaughlin, 11th grader, is 23-5. So pretty nice season he has going right now.
Out to a quick 4-1 lead. Out front now gives up one. 4-2. Connor Smith. Really good job of almost spinning around and earning two there.
Yeah, again, short offense. That's great.
Yeah, it was.
Front headlock, cut the corner. Now we're going to get some blood time here on McLaughlin.
The big boy by a score of 30-10.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, you can watch this game in its entirety on HSS Live TV.
And we're going to get back to live action at 126 pounds.
He said, watch this game. I saw all the wrestling fans give a mad face. It's watch this match on live TV.
Watch this match, exactly. People are like, who do you play tonight? We wrestle.
For Boiling Springs. Remember, the kid, all he had to do was literally ride it out, got himself out front. Instead of turning away, he turned in, gave up a pin with a 9-point swing, ended up costing them the match against Big Spring. There you go. Good kid.
Heckard has to be happy what he sees right now from Connor Smith. I'm sure, as a 10th grader, putting him out in a match like this and him wrestling like this, Heckard has to be pretty happy with his performance. Right,
he must be showing some opportunities to really break into the lineup in the room and earning some more confidence as the moments go by here in this match.
30 seconds left. Period number 2, 126.
And again, who do we have here? We've got McLaughlin really not doing anything right now from the bottom. Sort of content with a 9-6 lead. Really needs to be out there being aggressive, trying to earn bonus points if Cedar Cliff wants to have any chance of staying in this.
We'll just rode that period out, and we'll start all over at period number 3.
Third period, McLaughlin chooses the neutral position.
They're still trying to work this quick throw that was the only thing that earned him some kind of points early. And again, that was more of a sort of a push-pull out of leverage position, not anything from a technical perspective that's allowed him to look dominant in the match.
Yeah, at this point, you gotta get to your offense with some shots. And then work on top. You can't look for a throw 2 minutes here.
He's going to give him the whirlybird.
And that's another injury time.
That's not good. That's not the way.
Is that his second one?
That's his first one.
The first one, blood time.
Blood time.
One blood, one injury.
So we have a minute left here in our match at 126 pounds. While we have the opportunity, I want to thank Brandon Bucher, assistant coach at Central Dauphin, for sitting in and lending us his expertise. As I'm sure your team's getting ready for the District 3 Team Championships that get underway next week. A lot of wrestling action going on Tuesday night and Thursday night in Class AAA, Wednesday night in Class AA. And the finals, of course, next Saturday at the Spartan Center out at Milton Hershey. So if you're a wrestling fan or you want to see some good wrestling, certainly plenty of opportunities to get out and see some good matches coming up this week. So, Brandon, again, thanks for sitting in and giving us your expertise.
Thank you
today.
very much for letting me get on the show. I appreciate it. I love talking wrestling. Like, who doesn't? Coach Wise. And it was a great match. It's a good match. I was going to come anyway. So, I'm really glad that you guys asked me to come on the show. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next month and a half till the state tournament here. But this is when it gets fun.
Yeah, and by talking to us, you didn't have to listen to your head coach up there, did you?
I know. Swags is here.
He can feel his presence.
Yeah.
He may not be able to hear his voice, but Book, you've done a great job in a short time out at CD. Best of luck to the end of the season. It's always great talking wrestling with a good wrestler, a great coach, and a committed guy.
Thank you very much for that.
Connor Smith now is knotted things up at 10-10. 40 seconds to go. "30 seconds. We may be headed to overtime. I don't think we've had an overtime yet this year, Joe.
No. Yeah, we've had it. We've had 2 overtimes. I remember individual matches. Again, Smith still hanging on here. Again, McLaughlin, no injury timeouts left. If he does, he's going to give up position here.
16 seconds left.
Smith now picks the ankle, holds on tight, has a tight waist, continues to control McLaughlin here. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Again, from a perspective of a potential upset, this certainly could be one of them here. We right now are going to the 1 minute overtime period. Back on our feet, first individual to score a takedown will win. I loved it. Talked about blood timeout. Heck came out. Wiped him down. He's spitting at himself for trying to get him back in there, not wanting to give any time to address this or any time for McLaughlin to relax, who's looked a little bit
to regroup.
Looked a little bit winded.
So again, 1 minute, first score wins, correct?
Yep. Smith, right there, able to hold on with a wizard there. But Smith, the clear aggressor here. And here we go. We got a clock that went out. Which is not going to make Coach Hecker very happy. He's looking at the home team score after he tried to get him back in there without trying to give any breath. Now we're without a clock. Now we're back on. Actually, with the actual time right on the clock, you need to get right back out there and continue. No breaks. Get right back to the center of the mat and continue. They still ran it down to the appropriate time. Let's go. You got to continue. You see that Smith is waiting to go. McLaughlin doing a job of trying to catch some wind. We need to get back out there in the center and continue this match. Let's go. Now we got a different amount of time on here. 4:44.
Guess they arrived at 44, Sally. And joining us now at Matt's side is Jeremy Elliott, longtime wrestling aficionado for Patriot News and Penn Live. Welcome.
How you doing, guys?
Can we hear him in there? What a statement and an upset in the last match. I mean, certainly indicative of the way Cumberland Valley has come out here today.
You could see it coming when it was like 9-4. I wasn't surprised at all that Connor Smith came back and won that. He had more gas than him, especially at the end of the third period and headed into sudden victory. So I'm not surprised at all that happened once the way the flow of that match was going.
When you talk somebody a 23-5 record versus somebody who's only wrestling a second match, it gives Heckard a great deal of a good feeling with options coming down the stretch. Obviously, Smith coming along as a sophomore, now going to be viewed as a serious option for the ability to bump some folks around in that area.
Yeah, and it's going to be crucial, especially coming into next week's district team championships and moving forward. You always want options. You want to always have different combinations you can stick out there, get the proper matchups, and if a guy can steal a win like Connor did there, it only helps the team chase. So,
caution. Boy, it's awful quiet over here. You wouldn't know that this is a packed Cedar Cliff gymnasium, really sort of stunned after that last match, and the idea that now 33-10, John was mentioning earlier, the average amount of victory, the margin of victory for Cedar Cliff, this is something they've not experienced at all year long.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I walked in, it was 24-10. I was over at Bermudian Springs, Boiling Springs, a big AA match, but maybe it was.
And then they suffered a really strange defeat to Boyertown, which certainly leaves a bad taste in the mouth as well. 2 reasons to not only reveal a character and to get better and refocus coming down the stretch, but as you said, some losses really allow a team to reveal its character, and today Cumberland Valley is coming out to make a real statement.
Yeah, and this is a huge win, if they hold on, which I'm pretty sure they will, especially with Wyatt Long here.
How they're going to represent us on the state level.
I think we often overlook how difficult it is to get into the district team championships. I mean, you look, only 16 teams out of 63 in Class AAA make it, and 8 out of 26 in AA. We're on the other side, like in boys basketball, 60 teams make the playoffs in 4 different classes.
Yeah, you don't want to get me started on the
I think I already did, didn't I?
the tough sport and the not tough sport.
Well, I would happen to agree. I've got a daughter that plays basketball.
I have nothing against basketball. However, I put those brackets sometime. In the past, I put those brackets together for basketball. I said, why don't they just let everybody in and start the season?
They do let most of them.
Yeah,
just about
50%, and the numbers are glaring. But they get on me because 8 people get a medal at states. I'm like, yeah, wait a minute though. It's after all these cut downs from the beginning of the year. So,
referee needs to make sure he maintains control. You got to get in and you got to separate that.
Yeah, Wyatt Long was stalking him, and you could see it.
He's got to stop. You got to separate him.
Got to make a point. And I think Rapsey's telling him about it.
In football, that would be a
taunting,
a yellow flag, 15 yards, unsportsmanlike conduct on that
Well,
one.
Wyatt's probably a little chippy. I mean, it's been like I said, he was second in Escape the Rock. Wasn't happy with his performance. He faced Zach Trampe out of Council Rock South, who dominated him on his feet. Now, Zach Trampe is undefeated, and in my view, one of the favorites to win the
skills. And at the end, you got to stand up and shake somebody's hand, hold your head high, and walk off with dignity. Got to be careful you don't get off track here.
I saw something in my match earlier today between Berm and Boiling Springs. I saw the winner get a team point taken away. I've never seen that. Usually it's thrown headgear by the guy who loses, or something like that. I saw it on the other side.
Just keep a close eye on the action. Make sure nothing outside the lines is happening.
So as we reset things, we are 27 seconds left in period number 2. Wyatt Long of Cumberland Valley on top, 5-0. Gabe Akita.
Now working the bar with a bit more of an effort.
Yeah, I would say there's a little bit more ferocity in that. It looks like he's going to take it home with him.
It's a bar, not a chicken wing.
So 5-0, Wyatt Long leading as we head to period number 3 now at 1:32.
Got to be careful. Remember how there was that level of discussion about going with your hands to the face and how many times that was called, and it looks like we're a little bit more away from that. But and again, you got to be careful there. You can only press so hard.
Yeah, Wyatt. I think Wyatt is. Wyatt, I think, wants to play the takedown escape game, which to me is pretty demoralizing. If you can do that to a person. I've always thought a tech fall's worse than a pin because you're just abusing the guy.
Yeah, you've been dominated as opposed to just maybe one quick move.
Yeah. As I said earlier, though, Wyatt's really come into his own.
Nice double leg push, drive straight through.
Takedown.
And he really didn't have a good position on
Cumberland Valley on top 37-10 over Cedar Cliff. Doing a little cleanup on the mat. As you move to 138 pounds, 3 matches to go. It's going to be Connor McGee of Cedar Cliff taking on Will Caldice of Cumberland Valley.
Bill Caldice really wrestling him in a different weight zone from where he's been in previous years, but has really looked good. And as I say that, almost gets taken down here at the beginning.
I'm really surprised by this. I think Will Caldice is the most improved wrestler on the Eagles roster.
I agree. And wrestling national level competition and doing extraordinarily well.
It really changed after, I'd say, first couple events.
He's
aggressive. Just plants him down to the mat. I think he's getting 6.
You got it.
There it is. Will Caldice, winner by fall at 138. Watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Brenner is back on Paxton Street with Brenner Pre-Owned. Choose from over 300 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and minivans. We've got your next vehicle that's priced to fit your budget. At Brenner Pre-Owned, we have financing for every credit situation, plus 100% guaranteed credit. We'll get you driving today. Get to Brenner Pre-Owned, back on Paxton Street or anytime at BrennerPreowned.com. 24/7 at BrennerPreowned.com.
Well, we thought it was going to be a very competitive match. It's kind of gotten out of control here as far as Cumberland Valley is concerned. They are just steamrolling Cedar Cliff right now, 43-10. As we move to the closing matches in this one. As we move on now to 145, it's going to be Jared Meese of Cedar Cliff against Cal Reichert of Cumberland Valley.
And again, Cal Reichert coming in with a record as a junior 7.
Has struggled of late, and they're going to need him at districts and down the road at states.
Nice dump. And again, when you see these records coming out, you got Meese with a 21-8 record, Reichert 7-4. You know, when you're 7-4 wrestling very difficult competition, and you come here, that's a whole lot different than it looks on paper.
Well, Reichert also didn't get into the lineup until December 20th, I think. He was injured in the offseason, and didn't know if he was going to come out for wrestling. So I think that played a role too. I mean, just getting in condition.
Dominating is the word there for Cal Reichert. 13-1 lead after one period at 145.
And we talked about the one person who has competed here was Colello, somebody who has faced that level of competition both summertime and through the level of wrestling that he's been able to be exposed to. That's why he said records really don't matter. It's the level of competition, your ability to compete with the best, and then measuring up when it comes time to do that at the postseason.
And J.J. Wilson also at 106.
Yep.
111-0.
I'll tell you, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, that kid's going to be good.
Tough. I really like J.J. Wilson.
5th at the Powerade, which you don't finish in the top 5 at the Powerade and not be really good.
That was a dominating performance over a good opponent, too.
Still 13-1 in favor of Cal Reichert, 145.
The thing for Cedar Cliff head coach Rob Rapsey is after a loss like this, what do you tell your team going into districts? I mean, it's so close to the first night, which is Tuesday.
Right.
And it's got to be a little demoralizing. So I'll be interested to see how they come out on Tuesday in whatever pod, wherever they're going to go. Because they're going to
1 minute in the second period, technical fall.
Cal Reichert a winner at 145. You're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Stay low. Drop.
Players and parents have more confidence in Advanced Hoops and Team PA AAU basketball. It's the only program that invests in a full-time staff to ensure that players get quality coaching, skill development, practice time, and quality tournaments. Over 170 players placed in college. Wow!
Advanced Hoops is on another level. Since my son has started, he's improved in shooting, dribbling, and understanding the concepts of the game.
To check out Advanced Hoops and Team PA, go to advancedhoops.com.
We've come to the final of 14 matches. It's been all Cumberland Valley, 48-10 over Cedar Cliff. As we pick up our final match of the day, 152. Felix Belga of Cumberland Valley against Colin Tagas of Cedar Cliff.
Tagas, a senior, coming in at 3-1. Belga, someone who we don't think has ever realized his full potential. I think he's a very talented wrestler, one that has great skill set, trying to put himself in a position to really make a late season run this year and live up to his potential, but has been challenged in the larger and more spotlighted matches.
I think he's lost a lot of close ones, going to overtime and losing. Or last year he was sick all week and he missed weight going into sectionals. I think that hurt his chances last year of placing at states, because I didn't think the weight class was overly. I mean, you had Josh Maruka, Vincenzo Joseph, who were studs, but I thought he had a really good shot at placing at states, and of course that was unfortunate. He's come back this year, and he's performed decent. He beat Skitch Light again, over at Central Dauphin. I have him ranked #1 in the district, and it'll be interesting to see how, again, the postseason, a little more pressure, things get ramped up. It'll be interesting to see how Felix does.
Okay, stay tuned. Coming up at the conclusion of this match, we're going to have the giant post-match show. We'll also be awarding our Capital Region Insurance Agency Move of the Match and our Brenner Family of Dealerships Wrestler of the Match. That's coming your way at the conclusion of this match at 152 pounds. Felix Belga, Colin Tagas of Cedar Cliff, and we are scoreless. 30 seconds left, opening period.
And no score in a really quiet first period.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. I would like to see Felix just ramp it up a little bit.
Yeah, no sense of urgency, and again, a first period for a top-ranked guy in the district. You'd want to come out and dominate, show that you are in a position to take people down at will.
I will say, though, he is one move away, because he does that a lot.
So scoreless after opening period.
Belga selecting the defensive position to begin the second period. Trying to get his feet under him. Interesting. Going to Granby.
Granby into a reversal.
Yep.
Had a pause there.
Yeah, it was a pause. But fully committed.
Yes. I thought he'd reach back and maybe get the head and go for the headlock.
Well, that would have certainly sent us off air early. Oh, that didn't feel good. It really came down straight on his forehead. Yeah. Looking a little dazed. Mm-hmm. Actually, it might be bloody as well. Don't know.
I think I thought we'd get some injury time there.
Period is no good way to eat the mat, have the back of your neck completely be beat up, and your face planted.
Here's what we were just talking about, the first
a
bang
lift,
of the mat.
And boom, face directly into the mat. Toga's still moving a little slow out there.
Yeah, that's why in football they wear face masks.
Yeah. I think everybody wants that broken nose face mask we saw earlier in the match, if your face is going to get planted like that. Toga's on his feet.
That was a nice little spin. Got up to his feet.
Had wrist control. Hand fight, created space, and got back around. 2-1, Felix Belga. over Colin Togus.
So we're going to head to our final 2-minute period of action this afternoon from Cedar Cliff High School. Again, if you're just tuning in, Cumberland Valley in control of this one from the beginning. They lead Cedar Cliff 48-10.
Looks like a little blood in the nose of Togus there. And a caution.
I saw it. It should have been a caution. I saw it as soon as it happened. I think his face hit so hard, it's just bright red. I don't even think there's blood. Forced to keep him down to avoid any kind of requirement to earn a takedown. Togus, again, can't do anything with his face planted in the mat. He needs to get his head off the mat, fight the wrist like he did earlier to try to escape.
He's got to be careful he doesn't get hit for stalling here. He got hit earlier, and then that makes the escape kind of obsolete a little bit.
And again, head directly in the mat. Belga not doing much either.
No, I expected him to do more. He tried to turn him earlier in this period.
Stalling Belga.
Wow.
Belga on top for stalling on the top.
Well, he was hit earlier for not doing much, and now it cost him.
And again, well, he really wasn't. I mean, you're riding along, you're playing boots on the top. I mean, Togus has not kept his head off the mat, which I think is what everybody's booing about. But the top guy does have the responsibility to promote the action, figure out ways to bump him on the side and earn near fall points. And again, he stays in legs and Togus stands up again. That could potentially be another warning.
Well, yeah, and it's funny, you get a smile out of Heckert over there when that call came across, and I think because he's probably referring to Togus not doing anything on bottom. But now think about it. Togus gets out here and can keep Belga
away
at arm's reach. You got a big upset.
Yeah.
You can't keep people in matches.
And again, if you look from Belga's perspective, it's just riding the legs. Not doing a whole lot. Neither guy.
20 seconds to go.
And again, if you can't turn a guy with a power half.
Hard work, you can't. It's real important to go to all the practices to stay in shape, because in my mats, I had to stay in shape. There was times where I was just worn out, tired, and I could have just given up. But my coach wants me to stay in shape by going to all the morning workouts, all the practices, so it pays off.
Do you hear that at home? Kids who are watching, the wrestlers, there's nothing that beats hard work, working harder, making sure you stay in shape, because whether it's in wrestling or it's in life, the guys who work harder, they're in the best shape, end up getting a shot and an opportunity at some time and can be the wrestler of the match. They can be whatever they want to be as long as you put in that work. Congratulations, young man.
Thank you,
One
sir.
heck of a performance tonight.
Connor, just want you to know that there were a number of big wins by Cumberland Valley wrestlers today, but when you got it into overtime, I don't think I've seen Coach Heckert as stoked as he was
ready.
for that. He went out because I guess he came out and he was wiping you off and said, come on, let's get back in there. So I think your coach saw a lot in you again. So congratulations, Connor Smith of Cumberland Valley, our Brenner family of dealerships wrestler of the match. We'll be back with more to wrap things up here at Cedar Cliff. Right after this, you're watching High School Sports Live on ABC 27, presented by PHFA.
Advanced Hoops is offering the 3D guarantee. Charlie Fortney believes the 3 dimensions are game speed shooting with professional instruction. Crossover intensity.
Some breaking news on the West Shore. Some spraining, twisting, popping news. It appears that Mechanicsburg is getting a state-of-the-art OSS orthopedic urgent care. This is what we know so far. OSS urgent care is much faster than the emergency room. All patients will be seen by orthopedic experts. Costs are typically less, and OSS is open 7 days a week. Remember, if you have a sprain, pop, or break to report, go right to the experts. OSS Orthopedic Urgent Care. 2 great locations, York and now Mechanicsburg. Now that's some good news.
Ruff Tractor and Equipment is PA's full-line equipment dealer representing Case Construction along with other leading manufacturers. Serving the total sales, rental parts, and service needs of its customers. Ruff Tractor paves the way for your project from start to finish, featuring the latest parts and equipment from Case Construction and more. Ruff also offers 24/7 job site support. Ruff Tractor is your #1 source for everything under construction.
Welcome back to Cedar Cliff. This is our CRIA move of the match at 138. Will Caldice.
Boom.
Taking down Connor McGee. Just that quickly. That pin by Caldice gave Cumberland Valley a 43-10 lead, and the Eagles went on to finish off the Colts by a count of 51-10, our CRIA move of the match. So again, as we said, just dominating. We thought this was going to be a close one, or at least somewhat competitive, but Cumberland Valley just showed their strength today.
District 3 beware. State of Pennsylvania beware. I think Cumberland Valley has faced some real adversity this year, had a challenge in Boyertown. Things happened. They wrestled tough competition all year, had a difficult match in Central Dauphin. But today,